16 ships of the home fleet are bound for the West Indies to visit some of the islands. Afterwards, they will join Canadian warships for exercises in the North Atlantic. Warships on long passages have to be refueled at sea, and that's the function of the Royal Fleet Auxiliaries. This is the RFA Tide Reach. The fuel load of destroyers runs into hundreds of tons, and the operation may take several hours. The fuel hoses are now connected. It's a skilled job to keep the two ships in position, especially in heavy weather. Besides fuel, the auxiliary brings food and stores. These are transferred to the destroyer by means of a jackstay. Refueling completed, Tide Reach secures her hoses and the destroyer moves off to resume her station. Among the islands the fleet will visit are Jamaica, Grenada, Barbados, Trinidad, and the millionaire's playground, Bermuda. There they will join the Canadian Navy, and together the two fleets will sail north to Halifax, Nova Scotia, before taking part in an anti-submarine exercise. Jamaica. This is beautiful Montego Bay, and here in the Caribbean sunshine, the cruiser Ceylon lies at anchor. To welcome her, music of the West Indies. Kingston, capital and chief seaport of Jamaica. There's a big municipal market in the town. Straw handbags will be popular presents at home. Kingston is hot, but you can always cool off at one of the swimming pools, or acquire a real Jamaican suntan on one of the lovely beaches for which the island is world famous. The scenery and climate of Jamaica have made tourism one of its largest sources of income. A favorite showplace is Laughing Waters, so called because of the echo of laughter caused by water falling onto the volcanic rock. The aircraft carrier Bulwark returns the hospitality of the Jamaicans with an invitation to visit the ship. Leaving Jamaica, Ceylon sails for Grenada, most southerly of the Windward Islands. On board, the ship's company toughens up for cricket and football matches with the islanders, who have a reputation for skill at field sports. The first sight of the beautiful harbor of St. George's, Grenada. Franz Larsen, the writer-traveler, describes the island as a West Indian wonderland. The Navy was responsible for introducing cricket to the West Indies many years ago. This enchanting background provides a perfect setting for a game of cricket. There's nothing like cricket as a symbol of goodwill, unless it's football. Ceylon's football captain presents a pennant to the skipper of the home team. Instead of the usual shipboard conference, the Commander-in-Chief and his officers assemble on the beach at Bakey in the Grenadines for an informal discussion on the future course of the exercise. Eastward from the Windward Islands is Barbados. Proud of its nickname, Little England, Barbados is the most English of them all. No other flag has ever flown here, and the story goes that at the outbreak of the First World War, a cable was sent to London reading, "Go ahead, England, Barbados is behind you." The traditional ceremony of beating retreat is still observed at sunset. At Guadeloupe, a French island in the Leeward group, a senior naval officer is piped on board. This is the custom for all visiting foreign naval officers. One rating explores the town by bus. Others prefer the quietness of the sandy beaches. Like the French at Guadeloupe, the people of the Netherlands island of Aruba give the visitors a warm welcome. This luncheon was arranged by an oil company. Trinidad. This is the famous Maracas beach. Tradesmen bring their wares by boat to the customers. Liberty men from the Maidstone go ashore at Maracas, just north of Port of Spain, the capital. It seems an ideal background for a photograph to send home to the family. Trinidad is famous for other things too. Steel bands, like this one giving a performance on the deck of the destroyer Delight. Some like steel, and some like skiffle.
They gave Jimmy's orders that Monroe, Virginia, safety, you're way behind time. 'Cause it ain't 38, no, it's all 97, and you gotta reach Denver on time. That ain't the mighty railroad, from Pittsburgh down Denver on.
Others prefer the martial music of the band of the Royal Marines. Now, from the various islands, the ships head north for Bermuda, there to meet ships of the Canadian Navy. Together, they will sail first to the Canadian port of Halifax, Nova Scotia, and then eastwards into the Atlantic for their exercises. This is Ceylon's engine room, and in her central wireless receiving room, she has the most up-to-date equipment. But sometimes, the older methods are still the most beautiful. A Met balloon is released to find wind direction and strength at varying heights. The findings may help to compile the official weather forecast at home. The temperature of the water is taken. Temperatures vary a great deal depending on the ocean current. A ship's laundry in a cruiser may have to wash for 650 men. And in the all-electric galley, the cooks turn out 3 square meals a day. as well as a daily supply of fresh bread. Bread, fresh fruit and vegetables are jack-stayed every day to smaller ships. And not only provisions, the handy jackstay also brings the Commander-in-Chief. The postman calls. Aircraft bring mail from the shore to the carrier, where it is picked up by helicopter and delivered to the ship. The mail delivered, the postman moves off to the next floating address. The Nappy, official canteen and multiple shops. Out of the profits from the many nappies like this, thousands of pounds rebate have been returned and given to service charities. The Nappy has a barber's shop and even a soda fountain. All large warships carry a dentist. And the MO holds a daily surgery like a doctor on shore. The old-time ritual of grog. Appropriately in these waters, the rum issued is from Jamaica. At one time, the Navy's rum came from Barbados. Bermuda, the most northerly group of coral islands in the world. There are 360 islands, many of them too small for habitation. And here, coming alongside, is the cruiser Bermuda. And what an occasion it is for the islanders, especially the youngsters. Wide-eyed with curiosity, they come on board the ship on a wonderful voyage of discovery. Meanwhile, a rating makes another friend ashore, where there's plenty to see and do before moving off again. St. Peter's Church is claimed to be one of the oldest in the Western Hemisphere. The famous Pink Beach. Pink because of the millions of particles of coral in its formation. Fish in great variety have been caught in Bermuda, but the officers have no luck. But some of the ratings do land a catch of sorts. They might have caught a crawfish or a shark, but not today. Featuring Marines old and new, the band of the Royal Marines put on a grand show to mark the departure of the combined fleets to Halifax, Nova Scotia. The Marines, originally called the Lord High Admiral's Regiment, were first raised in 1664. As the anchors weighed, the cable is scrubbed to remove the worst of the mud and also, some older hands say, any clinging mermaid who might have been hoping to climb on board. Fireboats give the ships a good send-off. The combined fleet is now on passage to Canada. With an escort of helicopters, the fleet sails into the harbor at Halifax.
Yes, now we're in my country, Canada, and it's not quite so warm. British and Canadian ships cross-operate aircraft, and a Canadian helicopter lands on Bulwark's flight deck. After the warm sunshine of the West Indies, the snow of Canada comes as a shock. They're almost extremes of hot and cold, but it takes all kinds to make a naval exercise. Now the combined fleet prepares to leave Halifax. The harbor at Halifax is 6 miles long and is one of the largest in the world. It is Canada's chief ice-free port and the headquarters of the Atlantic Command of the Royal Canadian Navy. After a conference with the home fleet's commander-in-chief, the Canadian Navy's commander-in-chief goes back to his own ship by helicopter. No hoisting or lowering of boats. The whole operation is carried out underway. This exercise is to give practice in anti-submarine warfare. The emphasis is on realism, and everyone carries out his job exactly as if the battle were a real one. Bulwark arms her aircraft. In a carrier under the captain who commands the ship, there's the commander, air, and the air staff, who plan the details of air operations. The gun's crews are closed up, and the air crew at readiness. There goes a salvo from the Squid, a powerful anti-submarine weapon. Aircraft, both fixed wing and helicopter, play an increasingly important part in anti-submarine warfare.
Exercise completed. Aircraft return to bulwark. Everyone has learned lessons, the kind that can only be learned by actually doing the job. Theories have been tested, and those that have not proved themselves have been scrapped. The time has come for the two fleets to part. The Royal Navy returns a farewell salute. Homeward bound, the spring cruise has been both pleasant and profitable. Old Commonwealth friendships have been strengthened and new ones made. The exercise set out to serve a dual purpose by linking naval training with a mission of goodwill. And it has served that purpose well.